Like after all this excitement dies down from today's memorial, the Jackson family will have some very tough battles. Obviously, they're already talking about the money, who's going to pay for it. One is over who gets custody of Jackson's 3 children. One really has to think about what they're going through right now. And to look at those custody issues is a local attorney, Sarah Newman from Yelman Associates. Thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
You know, we're talking about his 3 children, Prince Michael, who's 12 years old, Paris, 11, and Prince Michael II, who's 7 years old, who I was actually just reading, Sarah, a few minutes ago, that there was a family member that had said that Paris was wiping away her tears as one child who's losing a parent and probably going through a real hard time right now. But now, focus turns into what's going to happen to these 3 kids.
Well, there's a hearing that's going to happen on Monday, and basically that hearing's about temporary guardianship of the children. And Debbie Rowe has asked that the hearing was supposed to happen last Monday. She asked for that hearing to happen next Monday, and basically she has the opportunity to ask for custody or visitation with the children on that day.
But temporary custody was already granted to Jackson's mother, Michael Jackson's mother, last week. So the kids are with her right now.
That's right.
Does Debbie Rowe, in a situation like this, which we've heard reports that she's not the biological mother of the 2 children, right, would she have custody to these children? Can she even?
She can't ask for custody of the 2 older children, Prince Michael and Paris, but the other child that they call Blanket, he's not biologically related or even born during the Jackson-Rowe marriage, so she really can't ask for custody of him unless she files her own guardianship proceeding. But basically the hearing on Monday is to determine what's going to happen until we can figure out a permanent solution to who's going to have custody of all 3 children. And so it's really a big function of what's in the children's best interest and whether Debbie Rowe is fit to have custody of the children. And I guess yesterday there was a big outburst by Debbie Rowe at a reporter.
Yeah, I want to talk about that for a little bit, because obviously when you're an attorney and you're practicing these kind of things, you see this kind of stuff. Family issues go into court all the time.
Right.
When a parent breaks out like this or has a lashing out, the way that we saw Debbie Rowe do with the media and the paparazzi, could that play against her if she does go and she's asking for custody for these kids?
Absolutely. It's one of the factors the court has to consider, and what the court might do is have her undergo a psychological evaluation through all this process. But it is going to be a process. It's going to be a long-term, ongoing one. In fact, she can continue to ask for custody and visitation of the children until they're 18. So even if the court grants a permanent guardianship to Catherine Jackson, she can obviously come back and ask for visitation if there's a change of circumstances. For instance, if Catherine Jackson's an older person and it may be down the road she becomes ill or unable to serve as the children's guardian. So Debbie Rowe always has the opportunity to come back to court and ask for custody and visitation with the children.
So as we continue to talk about what could possibly happen to Michael Jackson's 3 children, we're taking a live look at pictures of the procession. Actually, no, I'm sorry. These are now pictures of Michael Jackson's kids. Again, he had 3 children. Prince Michael is 12, Paris 11 years old, and Prince Michael II, known as Blanket,
right,
was 7 years old. What do you think, in all likelihood, will happen to these kids?
I think that the court has to do an investigation, and they're probably going to have to appoint an expert to determine what is best for the children. Now, if Debbie Rowe hasn't had a substantial relationship with the children, it's going to be very difficult for her to gain custody of the 2 older children, and especially the younger child. It's really a function of what's in the children's best interest, and even one of the factors the court has to consider is what the children want.
This custody battle could last a long time?
It could last a long time.
Very unfortunate. All right. Sarah Newman, local attorney from Yelman Associates, thanks for being with us and sharing this information.